Good evening, Britannia, and hello to the rest of the world. Welcome back to Tousi TV with another episode of Tousi at 10, our evening debrief, where we bring you guys the latest headlines and give you the summary of the important news stories that you might have missed throughout the day. Of course, we have our morning show at 11 a.m. UK time and the evening shows at 10 p.m. UK time. And throughout the day, we bring you guys all the breaking news live streams. Let's talk about what's going on tonight. An English woman has been arrested by the police in the United Kingdom for shouting at a police officer. Of course, we're going to cover that, and we are going to be talking about again the attack that we had in Germany. In case you missed it, the Islamic State group have now taken official responsibility. We're going to explain why they have done this, and of course, Dr. Fauci, yes, Anthony Fauci, has been hospitalized, and we're going to be covering why that has happened. And finally, civil service chaos. The uncivil civil service is in trouble because of the Labour government. Now, let's start with the first story that we have. Shouting crime. Yes, a woman has been jailed for simply shouting at police officers during the protests. Jackie Miller, 57, has been given an 8-month sentence at a hearing in Hull. 8 months for shouting. Now, we have talked a lot about two-tier policing, the two-tier justice system and everything else, and we've been exposing it on a regular basis. Even the mainstream media at times have been forced to talk about it. Not that they would admit it, but they will be covering the hypocrisy. Now, if shouting at a police officer, it's not a nice thing, right? But it's just shouting. If that is a crime for the English people who are angry, why don't we have the same thing when the anti-Jewish Islamist protesters do it on a regular basis, shouting at police officers? What about the eco-militant activists? What about the BLM rioters 4 years ago during the 2020 protests and everything else? That is the important question that we're not going to get any answer from, obviously, from the establishment. Obviously, we're going to keep you guys posted on more of these arrests that come out on a regular basis. Next, Germany. Of course, last night we had an unfortunate attack that 3 people lost their lives. ISIS groups have officially claimed responsibility for the mass stabbing in Germany, which obviously took 3 people's lives. They say that the attack was carried out against a Christian gathering and was out of revenge for what's going on in Palestine and everywhere. What do they mean by everywhere? What is happening right now? They are literally playing into by the hands of what the West is basically doing, because when people, the governments, for example, in the United Kingdom or in Germany, other places, go around saying there's a rise of Islamophobia, they make it sound like every single person who happens to be Islamic is being targeted randomly on the streets, but that's not really happening, is it? So they know exactly how to manipulate that messaging. So that's the latest from Germany. Now, Anthony Fauci has been hospitalized. The former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases is recovering at home after being hospitalized with the West Nile virus. Recovery is still ongoing and is taking time off. Now you might say, why does this matter? It does matter because these sort of things don't just come out randomly. The whole of the international media are talking about this random story, and the reason I'm covering this is because just keep an eye on all the viruses and all the diseases that are coming out left, right, and center, because they will start doing the same thing. In 2020, at the beginning of 2020, we start to see a lot of news stories covering celebrities and government ministers from around the world suddenly getting infected, remember? And then that was used as an excuse to create Project Fear. That's why you need to keep an eye on these type of stories and what sort of virus. So, civil service chaos. Remember a few days ago we reported the Labour party donor, because it gave money to the Labour Party, was given a job at civil service, which is disgusting. This is Ian Caulfield, who is now resigned from civil service from his role that he was given by Keir Starmer's government, Keir Starmer's Labour Party actually. But the problem with this story is that he resigned because of the pressure but he's now becoming an unpaid treasury advisor after the party was accused of bending the rules. So he's still going to be inside the civil service. They think we are idiots. So they said, it's okay, he's not going to be in civil service, but we're just going to make him an unpaid civil servant. That's still civil service. The problem we had wasn't necessarily that he was going to get his salary from the taxpayer. The problem was that he was inside the civil service, you idiots. You can't get a political person just because he gave money to a political party, now that that party is now in government, to get a job. That's the problem that we have. The Civil Service Commissioner, CSSC, signed off his appointment as an exception to the normal process, which would require it to be filled through fair and open competition. However, the regulator was reportedly not told of his financial contributions to the party. And then they all went around saying everything's absolutely fine. Obviously, it's not fine. Ladies and gentlemen, this was your latest headlines from tonight. In case you missed any of this, thank you so much. As I said, we have the morning news show at 11 a.m. every day UK time, and our evening debrief, which is Tousi at 10 p.m. UK time. And throughout the day, we come to you guys with all the breaking news, live streams from around the world. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.